Bob, thank you for meeting with us today and talking to the young people in the room. Of course, Fit for a Champion is extremely important to us and what we're trying to talk about here. And Fit for a Champion stands for Foundation, Inspiration, and Teamwork. And we felt, and especially as mentor to me, I felt the way you add the pyramid of success into your daily life, that you would be the perfect person to speak on this and kind of explain a little bit what the pyramid of success has done for you, but what it does for young people and why it's important to have a foundation when you start out as a young person and when you eventually become successful as a person. So I'd like to ask you a little bit about what you feel the pyramid of success does in your daily life.
All the principles there that are displayed in Coach John Wooden's Pyramid of Success are just daily personal things that you can guide your life by. And my exposure to it started, of course, from the rivalry between the University of California, Los Angeles and the University of Southern California, USC, where I played from 1957 to 1960. And of course, our crosstown rivalry was UCLA. And Coach Wooden's Pyramid of Success later on, after 1960 and graduating, was just an important part of my association with him. Then as I got into coaching myself at the high school and community college level, I used a lot of his things that were in the Pyramid of Success. And I was thinking about this particular little conversation here today. One of them that's not on there that has been real important in my exposure to athletics, and this was one of his sayings, and you can see in a couple of his books where he's quoted as saying, "Be quick, but don't hurry." And I've used that expression a lot in coaching and also in my exposure to my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. I mention every once in a while when I see them, I say, be quick, but don't hurry. And that was one of Coach Wooden's sayings. And of course, the principles in there that are displayed in this photograph right behind me here, that Coach Wooden's signature, incidentally, is right there because I purchased this particular thing at a function that he was here. I think it was about 2004, maybe 15 years ago, when he came to Bakersfield for one of the organizations there, and I was one of the sponsors. And this was one of the items that we bid on, and I got it and had him sign it. And then another part of our relationship, Coach Wooden, was one of my first high school coaching, basketball coaching positions was at Shafter High School. I got there in 1963 and coached till 1967. And I had him as the speaker at our banquet in 1965. He came up to Shafter because of our relationship and the Pyramid of Success. He came and was our speaker. And his photograph is still in the Shafter cafeteria. They Coach John Wooden, all-time great coach, and was there. So the Pyramid of Success and the principles there have been a part of my my existence. So.
Well, one of the things that obviously we're talking about today with the young people is building a foundation for yourself. And I noticed part of Wooden's foundation in his Pyramid of Success is friendship and loyalty. How important has that been in your success as a professional and an athlete?
Oh, big portion. And we say all the time those friendship, or I should say, and when I say we, I say it to my employees out at the garbage company, that those friendships open doors, a little bit here or there. At the time, you may not know it, but later on, a year, 2 years later, you say, "Gee, Minnie, at that time, that friendship I had opened a a little door bigger in my existence. And my particular existence in business and also in teaching, that's the basis of it, is friendships, making friendships every single day.
Yeah. And the loyalty piece, Bob, is it hard to be a friend with somebody without loyalty, or vice versa?
I think it is, because do not resist any moment. So when you have those friends, don't be getting into moments of resistance. Don't resist any moment. Stay positive all the time. How you think is everything. Always be positive. Don't be negative.
Yeah.
Be positive. And I know, okay, again, I'm getting a little bit personal, and I don't want to think I'm doing this, but at 81 years of age, I even have to abide by that.
Yeah. Well, and you're positive, Bob. So in your success, and obviously you have a degree from USC, you were a tremendous athlete, Valley champion at Taft High School, but then you went on to USC and had a tremendous amount of success there. How did you become so successful? What made you decide to jump into the garbage business? Why? Was it simply because you felt like you could be successful in that endeavor? And obviously you give back to the community, but what's your driving force, Bob?
Again, friendships is a big part of that. I had been in coaching and teaching, because I have a master's degree in education, so I could teach at a secondary level, high school, community college. And after 19 years, here again, this word friendship comes in. And I had two friends in the city of Coalinga, which is north of us here, that were in the business, but they were also basketball fans, but we were friends. And they said, hey, we ought to get into the garbage business up here because no one's picking up the garbage. And so they said, do you have a master's degree? That was, again, an example of the little friendship opening a door. And so after some time, we decided to quit teaching and go into the garbage business full time. And on the humorous side, and that's perfect, many of my friends there said that I just had a lateral transfer. I went from public education to the garbage business. And always keep a sense of humor too in this in your existence here.
Absolutely. Foundation. You know, we talk about foundation. Without it, a home with the slightest wind can be blown down. How important is it to have a foundation when you go into business, or have a foundation even as a family? What has foundation meant in your life?
Yeah, and that's a big part of whatever level of success that you achieve in life. And my particular situation, again, I'm not, being personal,
Sure.
but I was an only child. More or less, my grandmother raised me, and so that was part of my foundation, a big part of it, and plus my mother, and because my father passed away when I was 5 months old, and I was the only child. And out of there came all of these things that we're talking about here on the Pyramid of Success, and the foundation and friendship are all part of this world of success.
Yeah.
So build them, and many times you don't actually put it in there, but just be conscious of that part of your existence and be positive all the time.
Well, when I think of foundation, I think of Bob Hampton, because you're always behind the scenes doing things for the community on the west side of Taft, but also you served as a board member on the current high school district board for a number of years. But just the Chamber of Commerce alone and the economic development that it helps provide for our community is unbelievable. Can you explain a little bit about how important it is to do things behind the scenes, quietly working to make things happen?
Yes, and all the things that you mentioned, Les, there are centered in my philosophy is the more you give, and if you could get one thing out of this particular little thing we're putting together here, whoever's going to watch it, if you could get one thing out of all that's been said, this is what I would suggest. The more you give, the more you receive. But you don't give in order to receive, because if you do, you put up a wall that prevents it from coming your way. You give in order to receive. And that principle, it just involves every part of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at the very top of what I consider what a person needs to have in terms to have a good solid foundation, and to summarize what we're talking about today, is competitive greatness. You know, be at your best when your best is needed. Enjoyment of a difficult challenge. You've had challenges in your life. Competitive greatness. How important is that in order to solidify what you do every single day?
Well, you know, that's part of this positive approach to everything. You want to be the best that you can be. And in whatever area it might be, business or in your family, or if you're in some employment, be the best that you can be. Give more, but don't give in order to receive. Mm-hmm. And you'll be, and maybe, maybe there is again, question mark, maybe there is a spiritual side of everything that I'm saying here today. Maybe. You decide.
Yeah, and that
further backward you look, the further forward you can see. And there's a lot of truth to that. Of course, don't ever look back. Always look forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Bob. The Fit for a Champion, young people out there that are going to receive a certification today, any parting words of wisdom for them as they go out and tackle their high school years?
Somewhat factual, but then there's just on my own part a little bit of humor. Be quick, but don't hurry. Coach John Wooden.
There you go. Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate your time.
It's more than my pleasure.
Yeah.